Yeah.
I think everyone's a bit flat because of the announcement. Our fearless leader.
No, I'm not. I'm not flat from that. I'm flat from training.
I'm flat from that.
Are ya?
Yeah, it hit me hard. It hit me hard yesterday. Like I needed me time all afternoon. It's good. Yeah, take it. Yeah, I did.
Do you feel re-energized?
Yeah, I was angry because, and I don't get angry very often. I got angry because it was out of my control. Yeah. I worked so hard to establish new business.
Yeah.
And we've had a holiday booked to go away to Noosa next Monday, which is probably going to get cancelled. And then there was talk about leaving last night to get the fuck out and staying an extra week there.
Leaving last night?
Yeah, so doing 2 weeks in Noosa, and it was just, I was frustrated because I didn't have the freedom to do it. Yeah. Because I've got uni starting next week, new business and all this other stuff. So that's like a really.
Don't worry about it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Anyway, so that was that, but I'm okay now.
It's good.
Had a bit of a me time afternoon, and it's good to go.
Had some beers and had some pizza.
Had some beers, had some pizza.
Went a moron and didn't send it.
Didn't send it, yeah. Didn't send it. The pre-lockout send a session. Are we going to get into this?
I'm in a shitty mood. So, like, I'm not in a shitty mood, but I'm in a focused, like, on the line.
In a ranty mood?
I'm in a ranty mood.
I think you should rant.
It's probably a bad thing right now.
Rant. Rant away.
But that phone call was a very good phone call.
Good. That's good.
Yeah. Literally double the money.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Literally double.
So we get a palace for our next.
Yeah.
This is our podcast.
Well, do you know what I was thinking actually? It was like, because I don't use the garage, like eventually turn that into some sort of, well, I have the gym in the garage, but like squat rack bench, like turn that into the room where you do your casting, your podcasting, whatever else. Because there's electricity going through there.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
You got a couch in there?
I could just get a couch.
Got a couch in there.
You know what I mean?
Get a cool little
Casting.
coffee table. Yeah. Casting couch. Yeah. We're gonna have a guest on the couch. Yeah. We can run like a segment called "Fix Your Shit." No one's done that before. They come in.
No one. You want to be a model?
Do you want us to fix your shit in the garage? Have a seat. Let's interview you. See if you qualify.
Yeah.
All right.
Why are you cooked again?
Training.
Oh, training.
I don't think I'm eating enough.
We're not, because we talked about this.
Body's so inflamed. I can feel it.
Like, smoke a joint.
Yeah, I should.
Just what that is about promoting. Is that part of recovery?
It can be.
There's scientific medical research that shows
that helps with recovery. Yeah, I feel sluggish. My sleep's disrupted.
What was your score, you dog?
Oh, still in the 70s.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but like I'll wake up at like 3 and I won't get back to sleep till like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then get up at like 6:30 to go for a walk.
I did get an 85.
Oh, fuck you. So that's been happening for like this whole week, and a little bit from last week as well.
I think that's why I'm a little bit cooked too, because I had probably like 3 or 4 days where it was in the 60s.
Yeah.
I just would wake up for no reason, just like my body clock woke me up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, hi, what's up? All right, this is what we're doing now. And then I just like trying to stop. You know, like after those sleeps, you kind of nod off a little bit, and it's not real deep sleep, but it's your body clock, and you're like, fuck, I got an hour and a half. I got to get up, and I got to walk with Zoran and this sort of stuff. So I'm probably thinking about, don't fucking be late, this sort of shit. But I'm late anyway. Fucking idiot.
That's why I prioritize my sleep when I can. Sorry, guys.
This is the last episode of the podcast.
This is next week, guys. It's ZNG podcast.
It's 2 guys and 1 barbell.
It's 2 guys. It's the D-list podcast.
It's 2 guys, 1 corpse.
Wow. You see strings off of his arms like a puppet.
This is Home Alone. So what training did you do this weekend? Refresh my memory.
A lot of snatches, a lot of clean and jerks, a lot of squats.
You hit a 200 for a set of 5, didn't you? Was that
That was
it
last
this week?
week.
That was last week.
Yeah, that was last week.
And where's all the videos?
Well, there are no videos.
Because
So-
your phone doesn't have videos?
My
or-
phone doesn't do
Your
videos.
fucking Nokia
So what did we do?
3110.
Like, on day one, we did 6 sets of triples on snatches.
It'll be a lot easier if you just sent it to me when you first did it, and we wouldn't have to have this conversation. Okay, go on.
This is good. People
And we had
know what Z
3
does.
sets, 3 on snatch pulls, 2 pauses in each position.
Oh yeah.
Then snatch deadlift, then 4 sets of 5 at 90%, and then we did back squats. We did 5 sets of 8 at 70%.
4 sets of 5 at 90% snatch grip.
Snatch deadlift,
So
yeah.
cooked.
Yes.
Not his snatch.
Yeah, off my
Yeah,
snatch,
okay. Yeah.
Not his deadlift.
Not my deadlift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's a lot.
That's,
Okay.
that's all of it.
okay, that makes a big difference.
4 sets of 0.
Yeah. Just goes to the
Yeah,
bar.
we're good.
And
Does he? Well, I can't remember the name of the Cal Strength guy.
I've changed coaches.
Oh,
Oh, that's all good.
hey.
Well, well, I don't know. It's
If
just,
important things in your life,
if-
if you were to change a coach, you would tell me, right?
Yeah.
you need to know because you are his
Well,
coach.
fucking, there have been people that I've coached and then changed coaches, not said anything, not mentioned any fucking names.
Have they?
Yeah, I have.
How does that
I
work out?
feel like it's something that you tell your friend,
Friends.
right? Yeah,
Friends.
friends. Like,
Yeah, I know. I do. I tell my friends that.
Wow. Fucking
It's
wow.
definitely going to be 2 guys in 1 barbell next week.
Next week it's going to be Gawain.
And the barbell.
the No Friends podcast. I am G.
Lonely. What's up?
Hi,
Hi.
not friend Z. Hi, not friend D.
So who's your coach now then? Yourself. Armando.
No. So we just decided just to pull things back a little bit. Obviously increase everything by sets and reps.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So it's been really good. It's been really hard, which is really good. So my body's really sore, so which is great.
This is your first week
Yeah.
with the new coach?
Yeah. So it's great.
Different.
Yeah, it's very different.
Lots of volume, lots of frequency.
Yeah. So and it's good because we're going back to what I did when I first started weightlifting, which is going back to doing heavies on Fridays, which I really enjoyed. So it's not maxing out; it's going.
Is that 90%?
Yeah.
Perceived 90%.
Perceived 90%. Yeah. Which I really enjoyed, and I got a lot out of that. Obviously.
Why do you think you get a lot out of it?
I think it gives me confidence.
Yeah.
It makes me train harder throughout the week to get to that Friday, and it's like a bit of a reward.
It keeps you focused for the week.
Yeah.
That's your closer for the
Yeah,
week,
yeah.
and it's also rewarding. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm down.
And it's not maxing out; it's just high, a high percentage.
So it's, yeah.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's
You
heavy,
have
yeah.
to try. You have to execute. You have to be precise with
Yeah.
your technique. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I like that.
yeah, and that's how I used to train on the Monday.
Mm.
Weightlifting. It was every Friday.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Okay, cool.
I like it. So.
Are you still competed in the year? 1-2?
Oh yes. Yeah. So I just need another few more months. I need 3-4 months of this type of training under my belt.
Yeah.
So
Training, eating, sleeping, micro.
yes, yeah. Because I know my food has to get changed again because of the training. My water intake has to increase dramatically again. Not increase dramatically, but enough, because like today I've had like maybe 3 or 4 liters and I'm still so thirsty because I didn't drink much yesterday.
You're catching up.
Yeah, I'm catching up, that's why I probably feel like really lethargic right now. Just like, yeah.
Makes sense.
So,
Got all the right things in place, and you just got to execute.
yeah, I know. But it's just like, it's funny, like, you're like, oh, I've got everything down pat, but then the training block goes and you train, and you're just like, oh, okay, I have to adjust now. And it's like, I wish I did this last week. I wish I increased my food last week, knowing what it's going to look like. Do you know what I mean? To sort of counteract with how I feel right now.
Interesting. We had a conversation about this literally a couple of hours ago about something we saw on social media.
We did?
We did.
Did I see?
Prioritizing.
Did
No,
we?
it wasn't about you.
No, did I see it?
I've forgotten.
Yeah, I
I've
did.
seriously forgotten already.
Oh, so you.
It's too early in the stream to get really angry.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Oh, fuck. I'm proper over people today.
Oh, I
Shit.
missed it.
I'm so sick of it.
glad.
Finish your story, please, Zeke.
No,
because
I'm
we'll
glad.
get to it. We'll get to it.
It's actually a very common thing in the sport.
What's that?
Is it just in this sport?
I think it is. So, bodybuilding, powerlifting, people use the sports to create excuses or justify certain habits. So a lot of powerlifters use powerlifting as an excuse to have bad lifestyle habits, eat bad.
Oh yeah.
It's
okay.
more. There's this thing that if I eat and it's just eat, I don't look at my macros. I can just shuffle down food for performance. So it's to put on weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's not about quality weight, it's to put on weight on
Yeah.
the scales. So then that reflects performance. Whereas if people are doing a hypertrophy style program, where I have regress, progress to bodybuilding, whichever way you look at it, all of a sudden they dial in their nutrition, they'll dial in their recovery methods, and it's like, oh, thank God I don't do powerlifting anymore. It was such an unhealthy lifestyle, but the trade was I was fucking strong. Right?
Yeah.
But what would have happened if you actually focused on your nutrition and recovery and everything else while you were powerlifting? Performance would have been even greater. So
yeah. And you would have enjoyed it more.
exactly. So don't use the sport as a fucking excuse. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I'm not targeting you, by the way.
I felt like you were.
Was it the lean across the table?
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, hang on.
Hey,
I'm doing it. I just.
But your kind of experience led into that conversation, and we literally had that conversation a couple of hours
actually
ago.
did.
I'm so happy that I was a part of that.
Were you in the chat?
No.
No, he wasn't in that chat. It was a separate chat.
Oh, okay.
It was a separate chat.
It was sidebar because I think I started venting.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
I like
You don't know who the person is.
Great. That's even better.
Great. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Oh, it's getting hot already.
Yeah.
I don't.
Do we get extra likes every time I take my shirt off? Have we noticed the trend? Like I started with a jumper.
Yeah, we sort of peaked, and then as soon as you took your shirt off, we dipped.
Okay. Yeah, so, should I take my pants off to experiment with the numbers?
Let's try.
Go into the minus.
Touch your toes.
That's when we get to the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like I've heard that so many fucking times, and I don't think I've ever heard it from someone who's actually really good.
Is this person really good?
A good person.
Oh,
A good
Not
person
a
wouldn't.
lifter.
not
Yeah,
a good.
yeah.
Interesting. That's good.
And probably like, and this is why I said I followed up with what I said. Like, to an extent, it's not 100% his fault. It's 100% his fault after, but it's 100% the people who are pulling strings, telling him what to do or her what to do.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's the way and look, it's not to say that's the right way to think about it, but like I feel that there's an onus on the people that you're relying upon or paying for to set the fucking standard.
Yeah.
Or to lead, and to be the example for all these lifters, because then like you said, like it's imperative to acknowledge the fact that it's lifestyle, like it's life, like you're teaching yourself good bad habits for the rest of your life, right? Or for a period of time until you can get a hold of those sort of things. That's both a good and very bad thing, depending on what the issue is. So I fucking hate this cop out attitude. Perform what? Like I have nothing against that person in particular, right? But like, you're not any good. You're a good person.
Yeah.
But as a competitor, you're not any good.
Yeah.
Right? Probably also, like if you park the nutrition side around, for a moment, you're not any good because you're probably doing the wrong things anyway. Like you're not getting the most out of your body. So how the fuck are you going to expect to be good, to put yourself in that category, to put yourself up on a pedestal in front of everyone, right? on social media and say you should listen to me, etc., 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 when you have this shitty fucking attitude. So.
Yeah.
And then just completely dismiss it, like that's behind me. I'm better than that now. Like, man,
man,
lady,
you're shitting on everyone that was part of your journey back then.
Right.
That was was mentoring you, guiding you.
What?
Yeah. All right. So what makes someone good then?
As a what is the question?
As a lifter.
The actual like real success.
Yeah.
Real tangible success. Like I've won a real championship. I've won a real, pro
national,
but a national that like a proper big affiliate federation, not this bum fucking WRPF shit. Like no one gives a shit. Like you give a shit only to validate yourself. Fuck off, right? And there's a lot in and around that, but go prove yourself in the IPF, go prove yourself in GPC, go prove yourself in getting invited Pro Raw, all those things, right? And then it's part and parcel of the conversation that I was saying about voicing my frustrations during the week. It's like the people that are elite, and I'm not saying this myself, right?
We are.
But the other people, right, have earned the right to be able to have a voice, right? Or to say, hey, consider this sort of thing, right? These fucking numbskulls, or whoever the fuck, that's 80% of the fucking population, are like, do this XYZ, fucking bad habits, this sort of shit. It's like, hang on, look at the people that are elite at the sport. They've earned the right to tell you what to do. Maybe you just go ask them a question, right? Maybe you should just like, if my car was broken down, I'm gonna go see a fucking mechanic. I'm gonna find the best mechanic I can find. Or ask Zoran about suspension.
Zoran specialises,
right?
Or you could just take everything out of the back of your car.
That's just saying, right? But if my car was fucked, I'm gonna go see a fucking mechanic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go see some bum whomever who hasn't achieved anything, who has no academia experience or nothing. Like I don't understand.
Yeah. Or you're going to go, or even better, you're going to go one better, you're going to go see a mechanic that specialises in your type of fucking car.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was seeing a mechanic.
We all see mechanics.
Across the other side of the world. And now I'm seeing a mechanic that specialises in my type of car.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right.
And so that's what I think has helped me with becoming an athlete. I'm not calling myself an athlete, but a better...
You're an athlete. You train with specificity, you train towards a goal.
Yeah. Is listening to you guys. Because you always talk about eating. I've hit my 5 meals today. Today was a perfect day. And it's just doing that over and over again. And that's where I've gained so much just from that. That has helped with my lifting. It's carried that discipline or that obsession of getting in the meals, like I've brought in my own lunch and all that stuff. Has carried over into how I lift and how I perform on the platform as well, like in training. Like I've had like 3 or 4 people today, this week, like come up to me and almost begin to start complaining about how cooked they are or how sore they are. Whilst I'm training, I've just immediately stopped them and just gone, just shut up. I don't care.
I like that.
I don't care.
You've
got more work to do. I've got more work to do. We can complain once we're done.
Don't
but right now, we're both hurting. Let's just keep hurting for another hour or two, and then tell me how you feel.
And then tell me how you've not controlled all the things that you control, and then I'll tell you you're fucking wrong, and this is why you could have been better, but you choose not to.
Yeah. Or I'm rushing my session because I've got to go to work. Well, get up earlier.
Half an hour earlier, fucking. Sleep an hour earlier.
It's just basic living things, but it's things that you want to...
It's easy fixes that get overcomplicated and overthought. And look, we've all been victims of it.
100%.
But at the end of the day, if you really care about something, you're going to prioritise it. It's going to become of a high value on your values list.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. If you value sleep more, like I do in the mornings to go for walks. No, I'm being honest here.
We know.
To me, I'll get an extra... To me, I get extra performance by sleeping an extra hour than walking for 45 minutes with you guys. Yes. What I'm missing out on is a social factor. So I'll nag you guys on social media later on. Right? That's my makeup. Right? But you mentioned there's 80% of the sport that are numbskulls. So what kind of message can we put out there for these 80 to be better? Is it their coaches? Is it their perception of what they should be doing? Is it their attitude towards the sport? Do they think? Is it their mental approach? Do they rate themselves too high? Do they have to take a few steps back?
I think there's definitely an element of all those things.
It's everything,
right? Because the thing is that the sport has become sexy now. It's sexy to be strong, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot more women in the sport. There are a lot more young men in the sport, which is great. It's fantastic for the sport. I would challenge people to find someone who's tried to advocate across internationally more than myself. So I'm comfortable with saying that, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that we get drawn to the things that will ratify a feeling quickly, right? I'm going to put up my video, I'm going to get likes, whatever the fuck, right? I'm going to feel good about myself from that validation really, really quickly, right? That's one thing. You see that so much in our sport, right? But that's the way we need to, like I had this conversation with Marcus, that's kind of the way that we need to sort of begin to think and advocate and push our sport to be accommodating for that, right? I think there's an education piece, there's an experience piece. I think there's definitely an ego issue around like both coaches and lifters. Like this is not the only way. There are other ways, and there are other many successful lifters prior to the things that you were doing, who aren't just lifters but are throwers, track and field Olympians, and we're powerlifters.
Athletes.
Like, calm the fuck down.
Much greater planes of motion than a powerlifter, right?
And I think there's a level of maturity as well. Like, I know for myself, I keep certain people around me to keep me in check with my ego. Because if I'm in the middle of a prep, right, I'm not going into training sessions where I'm like, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna squat 1,000 pounds, but like I suck, or this sort of business. Like I don't know if I'm any good. No, I'm going into each session where I'm like, I'm the fucking best. I'm gonna execute 100% across the board. If I don't do that, it's a failed day. Like I need to tick variables throughout the day in order to make the most out of every day.
But also knowing you've done your work to deserve to take
correct
weight off. So you've done your A, B, C, D, E before you hit F. Like you're ready. It's a matter of getting there,
the right,
putting it all together. You've earned the right. Correct.
Whereas people seem to have this attitude of like having this elitist attitude all the time, right?
Well, going back to the 80-20 rule, it's a rule of life. And look, not everyone wants to be elite too.
And that's fine too.
And that's fine, but the sport is unforgiving. Powerlifting is an unforgiving sport. If you don't put in the work, it's going to hurt you. You'll break, and you're not going to progress. You're going to regress, and you're constantly whinging about sore this, sore that. 4 weeks after my disc tear, that tear, here I am again. I'm back to where I used to be 12 months ago. Like,
well, what are you doing?
Like you haven't progressed in 12 months. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you broke down then?
Oh, I don't have time to go last year. What was I yesterday with that? With the corporate side of things. I don't have time. You don't have 5 minutes? It
was literally a conversation about doing mobility drills 5 minutes a day to get someone out of pain that thinks they're about to fucking die of heart issues.
Literally, convinced they're going to have a heart attack.
Like been to the doctor a handful of times in the last 6 weeks because they've had chest pains and stuff like that. And there's a lot of underlying issues. I'm obviously not a doctor, but it's very tight pec, very internally rotated. And I said, dude, I can give you things to do, put you out of pain. It's literally going to take 5 minutes a day. You can do it before bed, after you wake up in the morning, you can do it on your lunch break. And the response was, I don't have the time, I'm too busy.
Well, I don't fucking care. Like
I'm like, dude, if you don't care,
I don't care.
I don't care. Like, it's 5 minutes. I said, literally, it's 5 minutes of your day. You don't understand. Work is so busy. You work from home. What if you work from home for the last 18 months? And what if you needed to travel to work and then come back. Oh, I'd love to do that. Then at least I get my walks in. I'm like, so I go, why don't you wake? And then I said to her, I said, why don't you wake up half an hour earlier and walk halfway to work and back, and then sit down at your desk again? It's going to help you because you're moving. That's too busy. I'm too busy. I'm like, okay. You're too busy giving me fucking excuses. So we keep doing what we're doing. It's good. Right?
But going back to what you're saying on who holds accountability, I think friends do as well.
Yeah.
I think you got your coaches, you got
the circle of influence.
Your circle of influence, I think, is huge, and they have a responsibility to pull your head in. Yeah.
And you have a responsibility to cut people out that are toxic for you.
Yeah.
The ones that are screaming at you, go, easy weight, lightweight, easy, and you're literally dying. Sorry, Brandon. You told us not to shake the mic. Wow. We pause?
No, we keep talking.
Let's keep talking. Are you the one or two? Boom, boom?
Nah. I've just had like 3 liters of water.
Okay, when you come back, you can refill my water on your feet.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying around the value of having a culture.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have, if we're going to be in an environment where we're trying to be elite, we need to have an elite culture.
Yeah.
So then what does that entail? That means everyone's in check. That means everyone's on the same page. We do all the same things together at the highest level. We're all here for each other. We keep everyone in line. Yep. Whereas, you can't expect that in non-club situations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's a support group. It's a circle of influence. That's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes back to the coaches. Like, what kind of service is the coach going to offer? What do you expect from your coach? You just expect someone that gives you a program to follow, and then you're like numbers, yeah.
Like if you're
working on percentages, like for you to hit those percentages week to week, you got to have everything else in place.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to whether you to go and educate yourself on nutrition, or ask your coach. Right? So do you give them everything, or do you give them bits and pieces?
Yeah, and look, everyone has, they do things different ways as well. So I can appreciate that, but I don't know. Our industry is really bastardized now. There's no sort of level of righteousness in how we do things. So it's about.
I need water as well. Do you want some water, G?
Yeah, please. See ya.
Water boy.
Water boy.
Water boy.
Yeah.
Did you buy those? Are they mandarins or oranges?
Those are oranges. Hey, I came home today and I was like, Ma, here's some mandarins.
Oh, you saved us some?
Yeah. Well, I had a handful.
I was thinking, at the start of the podcast, I'm sitting here, I'm playing with my beard. I'm like, my finger smells so nice.
Yeah, it smells like mandarins.
It smells like mandarins.
Yeah. I was like, Ma, do you want some mandarins? They're fresh. She's like, why would I want mandarin? And I'm like, I don't know, because they're fresh. It's really nice. She's like, why would I want mandarin? And then she pointed outside behind you. She goes, I have a tree.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh. Oh, yeah.
Yes, you do. But
Yes, you do.
They're not as sweet as the one that...
What?
What was his name? What was your mate's name this morning?
I actually don't know the bloke's
I don't know his name.
Thank you, Zeke.
That's right.
We were just saying
Ex-con.
how my fingers smell like mandarins.
That's better.
Do you want to tell the story? Why we are so obsessed with mandarins today?
Me tell a story?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I'll tell the story.
I think Jay's a storyteller.
Wow. It's not that much of a story. It was just funny because, we were eating breakfast in the car park.
It's first day of lockdown, 5.0.
5.0.
In Melbourne, Victoria. We had 6 cases.
Fuck, did we really?
There were 6 cases today, or 9. No, I think it was 6. It was something ridiculous. But that's like the overflow from the last 24 hours. Yeah.
And the truck driver pulled up, and it was like, my guy was looked like he'd been out for like 3 months.
3 months or 3 days?
I don't know if you can get a job that quick. And he was like, bless his heart, he was tatted to the brink, like tats on his face, tats on his neck, tats on his knuckles, and he was delivering the fruit to the
pattern shaved into the back of his head.
Pattern shaved in the back of his head.
And something that Z noticed, being a fighter, oost,
The
he
ears,
had cauliflower ears, right?
That's when you know not to mess with
Yeah, that's
someone.
when I don't want to fuck with someone.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was delivering the pallets of fruit, and then he picked up the fucking pallet of mandarins, the bin of mandarins, and he goes, "Hey boys, want some?"
Literally drive it to the back of the car.
Yeah, and we're like, okay.
Like, yes, please don't.
Yes, don't fucking shiv us.
And they were good. They were great.
That was
mandarins.
so
They were
cool.
amazing mandarins. So
That's
thank you,
so sweet.
thank you, Mr. Truck Driver.
Thank you
Yeah.
For the
guy that's on his probation at the fruit shop,
Yeah.
the local fruitery.
we won't say which fruitery just in case people sort of connect the dots and he gets fired. And if he gets fired, I don't want to die.
Or maybe he's in witness protection and
He's in witness
Oh,
protection.
Wow.
Yeah, so mandarins.
That was good. That was really good.
Do you remember any of this sort of like attitude being? Because I obviously had some experience in weightlifting, but obviously at a young age. Is it much of muchness in weightlifting? Is it much of muchness? Like, is it similar sort of attitude?
Well, I feel like people just think that it's so good.
Mm.
Like you get that, they think that they're elite status, and you're just like, dude, just chill out.
Mm.
We're just in Hawthorne.
Yeah.
We're in Hawthorne, Victoria, bro. Doing some competition.
Yeah.
They were like, I remember going to this club, I won't name it. And like I was there for like 3 or 4 months, and they'll just be staring at me. Like they'll stare me down, and it's just like, oh man.
You are pretty good looking, but
Yeah, I know, but
You're so good looking.
thanks. But
No,
it's
like,
just like,
so
nah.
good looking.
No, see, the way you guys look at me, it was like the opposite. Yeah.
Well, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Nah.
No,
oh no, the one licking the lips. Okay, so definitely not the way we look at you.
Damn. Yeah. I used to just get that feeling. It's like, dude, just relax. Just relax.
Chill out, everyone.
You're a nobody.
Yeah.
I'm a nobody. We're just different weights.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing this. Yeah. So I felt that. Same as also going into the warm-up rooms in competition as well. You get that feeling. And it's just like, guys, just relax. Relax, Yeah. And I don't know if that's just, there's one person in particular that just like has stuck with me because I felt like he was such a wanker. I don't know him personally, just the way he would like stare.
He's probably jealous.
I wasn't doing anything special.
He was probably still jealous of your good looks.
And your fancy red shoes, really fast.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I bought red.
There you go.
I'm wearing red.
Red goes fast.
And I get that feeling as well with newbies.
Okay.
Newbies think like, after 6 months of weightlifting, they can post about it on how to do things. It's like,
Bro.
dude, be in this for a bit longer and go through hell, and then you can earn the right to talk about weightlifting. Like just enjoy hell for a little bit longer with us, and then you got the right to post about your lifting, your weightlifting. So that's the issue with social media. That's why like I've really pulled myself back on posting lifting videos, because I don't need to prove to anyone, or I don't need that validation from people.
See, I'm the opposite. I don't give a fuck about validation. It's about having my social media account is literally a vlog of my training.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah, that's good. So which I will need to start.
Some people care about. Some people literally care about that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, they care. They'd like to see progress. They like to see you get stronger.
Yeah.
To them, it's impressive. One way or another, but that's not what it's there for.
But I do enjoy pulling back from that and just getting back into the grind, and not going, I'm going to videotape, oh, this was a good set, I'll post that. Do you know what I mean? It's good to just pull back. Like, that 200 for 5, that was awesome, because I was just in the corner of the gym. Just no one's in the squat room, it's just myself. And then afterwards I was doing a lat pull down, and like the managers like came up to me And he's like, oh man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, like where are you from? Like, oh, like my background's Macedonian. And he's like, oh man. He goes, man, like you're so strong. He's like, you don't even look like you train.
Wow.
I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, you know, you just.
What do you look like then? Did you say, what do you mean? What do I look like?
Yeah, he's like,
Do I
you
look
just look like a normal, like an average person. I'm like, okay.
I'll just
Like,
go
compliment?
fuck myself back on the lap.
Yeah.
The lap pull down over there.
Yeah. That was hilarious. I'm like, oh, okay.
Thanks.
Thanks,
a lot,
man.
bro.
He came from a good place.
Yeah,
Like, he came from a good place.
yeah.
He's like, man, you didn't expect to be that strong, you know? So that was pretty, yeah. Yeah, so that's why, like, I think it's good to pull back from the social media, get back to that grind, and you know, but then everyone's different.
Yeah.
So that's,
I use social media. So literally, it's easier for me to log into my Instagram account and
Mm.
scroll back to last week's lifts to see how it went, what numbers I did, how things moved, and then set myself up for that next session.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's easier for me as well.
It's easier. I use it as more of a tool to manage my programming rather than, oh, here I am lifting. Guys, check me out, give me likes, follow me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe just the way I'm looking at it is different.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I know. Because I do enjoy the grind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Questions?
We're doing questions? Let's do questions.
Questions from the strength monsters. Did you like that?
My hair does look good.
Hey guys, it's G here. Questions down here. I'm like,
Shut up.
Oh, G looks different today.
Hey, G, get bolder.
And older.
And why isn't his voice broken yet? Why isn't his voice broken yet?
Oh dear. There must be a fair bit of questions.
Who's 10?
Nice.
Shut.
The first question which a mate of mine asked to be asked on the podcast was, what were your thoughts? Did you watch the McGregor fight, and what were your thoughts on the McGregor fight?
Whoa.
I didn't watch the McGregor fight because I didn't get invited to the McGregor fight.
I want to.
My friends watched it.
You won't need like an Instagram vlog. I'll knock you next week.
So I can't answer the question.
Z, you were invited, my lucker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I watched it
Yeah.
and it was great.
Who'd you watch it with?
Watched it with
What do you
Gawain.
mean?
Oh, that's good.
You
I
invited.
had friends that invited me to the fight.
yeah.
Anyway.
What about yours? What are your
My
thoughts?
friends turn up to my invites and don't scroll past my questions.
Because McGregor was getting smashed.
Was he?
So here's my issue, right? Like,
What about smashed?
he was getting like
overwhelmed.
he was getting overwhelmed,
Yeah.
but I feel like he was parrying like a lot of it.
Flowing with it.
Yeah,
Flowing,
like
yeah.
a lot of it was hitting the gloves and the elbows
Yeah.
and things like that. Like he obviously cut open his ear.
Yeah.
And he was defending well. He was fucking throwing some pretty mad elbows off his back, a lot of up kicks and things like that, which were landing. So I don't know how two judges gave that a 10-8 round. I feel like, I feel like Poirier won the round, but I don't think it was a 10-8 because 10-8 is meant to be like so convincing, like, decisive. It's a big deal. Like if you're in boxing, they give 10-8 rounds.
Yeah, they do.
That must be like a fucking hiding.
It's like a knockdown. Yeah, a knockdown or a hiding.
Yeah. So the fight that happened earlier, which was what's his name again? Sugar. I forgot his name. But there was two guys these two guys were fighting as bantamweights, and this guy was literally getting smashed flush for 5.5 rounds. 4.5 rounds, literally flush. And the other dude was like a knockout artist. And he'd knock dudes out with like one punch, like multiple.
So
he's cracking him, and he's cracking this guy flush. This for 4.5 minutes, man. So it was like, for 4.5 rounds. It was like the guy just kept coming. Like, see that I get it. Like, if those were all 10-8, then okay, cool. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I don't know. The interesting thing was the broken tib fib
Yes, yeah, and that's what we spoke about.
Yeah.
Was it tib and fib in the end?
Yeah, it
or
was
just
tib and fib.
both? Yeah.
Both tib and fib snapped. So what that was, I really have a lot of admiration for McGregor's coach. He's very level-headed, very composed and poised when he's coaching. Very, very cerebral. And he was saying that he'd had some ankle issues in the lead up. So he fucked the ankle he broken the ankle in the lead up to the Habib fight, which was years ago.
Oh yeah.
And then in this fight, he was still having ankle issues, so they got a scan.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like some ridiculous, amazing doctor, and they're like, listen, can't really find anything definitive here. If there's stress fractures, you can't really see it. There could be stress fractures. I don't know exactly how that works from a scan perspective.
Would you be able to identify stress fractures? It should be with some sort
of... Well, yeah, because the majority of foot injuries are stress fractures, and you'll see like hairline.
Yeah, there may be some hairline things.
So it would have been very minimal in that case if this guy was,
Yeah. And then it looked like, from what John Wayne Parr was saying, is that he threw a leg kick which wrapped around the upper part of the femur of Poirier, which is not meant to... The foot actually wrapped around the femur. Yeah. And then obviously the stabbing front kick, the karate front kick, hit the elbow as Poirier blocked it.
Yeah.
And then that's when the actual real proper snap happened, because he put his foot back on it, and it was obviously still
gone.
In line.
Yeah.
But then he's thrown a straight left and then put the foot back to balance himself, and it's just like boom. Which is as fuck.
Interesting though, the last few those big time main events, they have all finished with injuries like that.
It's funny you said, because I was listening to Rogan talk the other day, and he was talking about the fact that there's a lot of these breaks that are happening recently. Like in the past, I think it was like 12 months or 18 months, 4 people have broken a bone.
Well, Anderson da Silva was the first one.
Was the first one ages
ago, and that was like...
Weidman threw a kick at Uriah Hall, and Uriah Hall checked it, and his fucking shin broke.
Oh.
And Weidman is the guy who Anderson Silva broke his leg off.
Correct. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has that for irony? Fucking hell. And then there was another one, Jacare Souza, who's a jiu-jitsu player, and like a high level jiu-jitsu player, had his arm broken.
Right.
In an armbar. But like, yeah, that's literally it. Like, there's been so many in the past 2 years, and then none prior to that. It just sort of so happened.
Yeah. Interesting. What do you think that is?
I don't know. I think guys are just like...
Are they overtraining? Are they?
I don't know.
Is there a lifetime for
bone
density? It's interesting.
Do they need to lift more? I don't know.
How they must be producing though.
Well, they're getting stronger and the body's not keeping up with the strength output.
Yeah.
There's an imbalance somewhere.
Because they're whipping, and then that whipping's like that kicking motion is a whip, you know, and then
Next question.
Would you be open to a guest? And if so, who?
Oh, that's a good one. Who?
Interesting question. I think down the track, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely down the track. It depends. What do we want out of the podcast from the guest? Do we have to pick someone?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
I think we might pick the same person.
I think Brendan.
Yeah.
Who?
Brendan.
Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon, yeah.
He's not coming to my house.
Yeah, I know that.
He's not coming to my house.
Why? Why would you pick him?
Because I feel like we all get along.
Yeah, you guys get along.
And we both like to bang out G.
Yeah. So it really is going to be going on his own by himself podcast now.
It's okay. We get Brandon onto our podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just fair. That's fair.
There'll still be 3 guys, 1 Barbell.
2.0.
You're gonna lose your media guy.
Yeah.
Actually, Brandon's good with that stuff. So
He's yours, 2-2.
It's definitely a fucking upgrade. So, yeah. Who would I have?
Who would you have, G?
I don't know. I didn't think about it. I would realistically. Fuck. I should have cheated and thought and looked at the question properly. I don't know. I was saying to Marcus yesterday, I would love to actually spend time and listen to Nick Maxwell speak.
Okay.
Do you know Nick Maxwell?
Nice.
Ex-Collingwood coach, Collingwood captain for a long time. Apparently, he is the the bee's knees in culture building and leadership. He has like some hectic role at Collingwood in building leadership and culture at the club. I'm just really curious recently.
That's obviously worked.
Yeah. You fucking suck. You fucking suck.
That was a really good question.
Marcos would also be a good one, I think. He's got a lot of war stories from the trenches. And Emad, also from a business point of view.
No, I'm done with Emad. He's a recluse now. So.
Okay.
Trains recluse.
We interview him on our podcast. With Brandon.
I don't want to ask this question.
Okay, don't ask that one then.
The question was, what's the band for?
Is that legit?
Nah. No, it was.
How about we open up next podcast with the
what's
band?
the band for?
Yeah.
That's actually good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Working up on that one. Yeah.
So we'll get back to you on that.
Abuse. Are you considered straight if you get caught pulling sumo, asking for a friend?
I'm so sick of the sumo. Is it cheating? Like, you know,
it's within the rules of the sport.
I just say.
How many blowjobs does Kevin give you?
Was that from Kevin?
No. How about I drop these nuts in your mouth?
Wow.
Did he just call you Wayne?
Wow. Are these your friends?
These are apparently my friends, and I wrote down the other ones. It's a branding thing.
We need a good one to finish.
I think the best one was the McGregor one.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Hell yeah.
That'll do us for
That's so
today.
cool.
What time is it? 51. So it's probably going to be like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Can you stop?
On that note,
Mr. Cairo, he's 29.
Okay.
American football player and amateur bodybuilder.
Oh, where do you play ball?
I'll ask him now.
Like in Korea?
I'm not sure. I'll ask him.
Sorry.
And he's like, bro, I cannot move my legs today. Shit. I'm like, that's what you get.